Cheers and happy Tuesday, everybody. I have one little food safety tip that's breakfast related before you start your day today. Did you know that the majority of eggs sold and produced in the United States are actually pasteurized and they're safe to eat raw? So what that means for you and I is they take the whole egg in the shell and they heat the outside, which kills the salmonella and reduces the overall risk for foodborne illness. And somehow those crazy food scientists have figured out a way to do it without cooking the egg on the inside and just killing the stuff on the outside. Science. So take a look on the outside of your egg carton, and if it says they're pasteurized, you're actually safe to eat them raw. I don't recommend it, but you could. And for anyone who's a big fan of the egg beater products or the liquid eggs or egg whites, those are for sure pasteurized, and you could just drink those straight out of the carton. So really what I think this means is our parents had been lying to us as children saying we shouldn't eat raw cookie dough. I think they just wanted more cookies for themselves. That was safe to eat. Thor, you can be a strange dude sometimes. So in kind of a continued series, tonight I'm going to talk about expiration dates, what they are, how they get to those dates, and what it really means to us. And for all you grape nut fans out there, on the front of the box, these two riding their mountain bike, that's my good friend Simon and his wife Amanda. I guess a friend of theirs is a photographer and asked if he could take some kind of stock photos of them when they were mountain biking in Colorado, and Post selected it and put it on their box. I've never been on a cereal box. So for a little break in the afternoon, here is my quick food science tip that will lead us into tonight. As you can see, my milk is coming up on the expiration date a couple days. So my question, is it safe to drink expired funky milk? And the answer is a big yes. Because our milk is pasteurized, just like the eggs are that we talked about this morning, any harmful bacteria is killed. So even though your expired milk starts to smell funky and get a little bit chunky, there's actually nothing in there that can make you sick. It's just spoilage microorganisms. So 3 cheers for pasteurization and the wonders of food science. Without that, our milk wouldn't be safe to eat, but because it's pasteurized, totally safe no matter how expired. I just have to say that Snapchat is the best. I had no idea how interested you guys are going to be in that last post about expired milk. So as a follow-up, so just strain out the lumps and take that funky milk, and you can use it just like buttermilk in your pancakes. All right, I'm going to make some quick dinner before I talk about the expiration dates, and let me grab some leftovers from my properly stored shelves. No. Just kidding. I'd never do that. All right, it is time to talk about expiration dates. So how do they make those things? There's really 3 ways that people come up with expiration dates for packages. All right, well, maybe a 4th. Just 3. So the first method, and by far the easiest to explain, is they just make it up. They don't know. They say, year looks good. Let's go with the year. Boom, it's a year. The second method is they take a similar product that either they've created or that's already on the market, and they just copy the same date. They say, yeah, this cereal's like that one. It's going to be the same. The last method, and by far the most preferred and refined, is they set up a series of shelf life tests where they put product in accelerated conditions, or they test out a full year or whatever the shelf life might be, and they actually see it through to the finish. They get some scientific data behind it, and that's what they establish the shelf life will be. Now let's talk about what that means. So assuming the company went and did all the shelf life testing and, kind of crossed their T's and dotted their I's, what they're looking for is when will the product no longer be seen as the original? Or in a little more technical terms, they will get a panel of people together and they will establish the period of time or the shelf life for the product where it's no longer acceptable for purchase. So they get a bunch of people in a room, they talk about the product, they compare the tastes of the new and the old, and at the point where people say, I wouldn't buy this anymore, that's where they cut off the shelf life. So let's say that period of time was 1 year. So from 1 year from the date of manufacture is what they'll set the shelf life for. And that's what you'll see on the box. Now, that doesn't mean the product isn't safe to eat after 1 year. It's when that group of people said, this doesn't taste good anymore, we won't buy it. It's still safe. So as long as you've stored and handled your food products properly, there is no reason that you can't continue to eat them after the shelf life. They just may not taste very good. So basically anything you have stored in here, or in here, or here, or here, is completely safe to eat after the expiration date. Those numbers are set purely on taste. So as long as you didn't store it with a bunch of raw chicken, you're in the clear. So my hope for this evening was you stop throwing away food just because your box says it's expired. You should taste it, look at it, smell it, see if you think it's expired. The other thing I will always offer to my Snapchat community, if you have questions, if you're unsure if a product is okay or safe to eat, send me a picture, send me a message, and I'll try to help.